If you're a fan of fast action platforming and frequent deaths of Super Meat Boy, then Fenix Furia from Green Lava Studios may be right up your alley. Be warned though, while it does contain the twitchy platforming and micro-level design of Super Meat Boy, it doesn't have the same amount of polish as the game it takes its inspiration from. For those unfamiliar with the antics of Super Meat Boy gameplay, Fenix Furia is a platforming game unlike most other games in the genre. Instead of working your way from left to right in a world-exploring fashion, your levels are short, frantic, and full of enemies. Most levels last a mere 10 seconds, and at times, enemies cover the entire screen. You'll face death faster than you can blink an eye, sometimes dying 20 to 30 times in a single level as you try to make your way to the end goal. Thankfully, there are no load times between death, and you'll instantly appear back at the start of the stage, making the try one more time gameplay keep you coming back for more. As far as story goes, Green Lava Studios gave the following plot synopsis. Gamers take on the role of Fenix, an alien hedgehog whose village is decimated by a huge explosion, leaving only 2 survivors, Fenix and Octarus, a mysterious figure who manages to elude Fenix's best efforts at capture. While Octarus is made out to be a big bad villain, his only real place in the story is that he'll be waiting for you at the end of each stage, guarding the doorway to your freedom. The story is told through animated cutscenes. However, things will get much more complicated than Octarus releasing an enemy to chase after you, or Fenix coming upon a new environment. If you're expecting Halo-sized epicness in your storyline, you may be disappointed. So you may be wondering, how do I control this fast-moving alien hedgehog? You control your character through the use of the left analog stick, or D-pad. Unlike most platformers where you're only offered the ability to double jump, Fenix Furia allows you to jump infinitely. Outside of jumping to your heart's content, you're also able to dash to the left and right. The strategy comes in the fact that you can cancel a jump with a dash, and vice versa, cancel a dash with a jump. Between these two moves, you must make your way through the 200 plus death traps, levels, provided. Besides avoiding enemies, the game also adds new mechanics along the way. You'll be able to catch Fenix on fire in order to break ice blocks, become frozen to slide past lasers, and use teleportation bars to appear at different parts of the stage. The game does feature a gradual incline in adding new elements, so you never feel overwhelmed when learning something new. Outside of completing the stages, as if that wasn't challenging enough, the game also features a collectible in each world, a virtual cookie. While that may not seem like much, if you collect all the cookies in the digital world, you'll receive a real-life cookie recipe. To actually collect the cookies is quite the challenge. So, unless you feel like real-life cookie recipes or virtual achievements are worth tearing your hair out or smashing your controller, I feel you don't really need to go out of your way to collect them. If, on the other hand, you do really enjoy a challenge, there is a special challenge mode unlocked in the game. In this mode, you play through stages you've already completed. However, you're only allowed so many jumps and dashes per stage. If you happen to deplete one, you will die. This definitely amps up the difficulty and makes you think and play in a whole new way. As mentioned earlier, this game takes a lot of its inspiration from Super Meat Boy. It's nearly impossible to avoid the parallels, but the comparison causes this game to fall short. I can't quite put my finger on it, but this game just didn't click with me like Super Meat Boy did. In these types of platformers, it's all about momentum. However, unlike the lightweight, meaty hero in the other game, Fenix is a very heavy character. Instead of gracefully making your way through a level, it feels more like you're trying to smash your way through the environment. In Super Meat Boy, I always felt myself learning from the game's different platforming mechanics, improving as I made my way to the end game. Yet, in Fenix Furia, I felt the game was 90% luck more than anything else. Many times I found myself just hitting the dash button as fast as I could, hoping I would break through the plethora of enemies on screen at one time. You know it's a problem when you find yourself bored with a game, forcing yourself to make your way to the end of a stage just to get through it. From the moment I saw Fenix Rage back in 2014, I had high hopes and anticipation to get my hands on it. I'm disappointed to say that it didn't live up to my expectations. While I did enjoy playing parts of the game, all of the environments are very similar and uninspired. I couldn't really tell you off the top of my head which stages and worlds I enjoyed the most. Unless you're a Twitch platformer superfan or a speedrunner, I would suggest spending your eCash elsewhere.